The cold Dr. Pepper splashed all over Zara Mitchell's hair, soaking her white shirt as Amanda Sterling laughed like crazy in the Henderson Communications office in Chicago. Oops, thought you needed something to wake up those boring ideas, the blonde boss said with a mean smile, tossing the empty can on Zara's desk. Hey everyone, look at our diversity hire getting a soda bath, yelled Travis Coleman, filming everything on his Samsung phone. Next to him, Rebecca from HR was cracking up while typing on her phone. When you hire people just to fill quotas instead of actual talent, hashtag reality check. Zara just stood there, soda dripping from her hair onto all the reports she'd worked so hard on for the big meeting tomorrow. She was 31 and the only black woman working with all these rich kids who've been treating her like garbage since day one 8 months ago. You know what your problem is, Zara? Amanda walked closer, her fancy perfume mixing with the sweet smell of soda. You don't know where you belong. You think you can sit with just because you got some cheap college degree. The glass conference room felt like a zoo, with everyone from the office staring through the windows. Some looked embarrassed, but most just didn't care. It was Friday before Memorial Day, so the office was pretty empty. Perfect timing for them to really go after her. Zara took a deep breath, and her eyes got this look that Amanda thought meant she was about to cry. But it wasn't tears at all. It was something much stronger. She picked up her phone, totally ignoring all their nasty comments. Gonna call mommy? Or maybe your boyfriend, who takes the bus? Travis said, getting his camera right in her face. Bet he's some delivery guy from Queens. Rebecca laughed so loud it hurt your ears. You guys are terrible. But seriously, Zara, it must be hard pretending you belong here on what they probably pay you. What these three idiots didn't know was that Zara Mitchell wasn't just some regular employee trying to make it big. There were things about her life that would blow their minds, connections they couldn't even imagine. Go ahead, keep talking, Zara said quietly, sending one quick text. You just made the biggest mistake of your lives. Amanda looked confused for a second. Zara's calm voice threw her off. What are you talking about? Did all that sugar mess with your head? In exactly 12 minutes, Zara looked at the expensive Cartier watch on her wrist that nobody had ever noticed. You're going to find out. Travis put his phone down, looking confused for the first time. What 12 minutes? Are you losing it? Rebecca, who was always the smartest of the three, noticed something weird about how Zara was acting. She wasn't scared or mad, just way too calm, like someone who knew exactly what was about to happen. That's when the private elevator, the one only the big bosses used, lit up on the 38th floor. The doors opened with a quiet ding, and two security guards in suits walked out first. Behind them came this tall, intimidating guy in an expensive suit that probably cost more than most people make in a year. Zara! Marcus Henderson's voice boomed across the office, cutting through all the noise. Are you all right? If looks could kill, Amanda, Travis, and Rebecca would have been dead on the spot. Nobody in that office could have guessed they'd just messed with the wrong person, and that the woman they picked on was about to flip their whole world upside down. Marcus stormed across the office, his face going from worried to furious when he saw Zara covered in soda. Dr.Pepper was still dripping from her hair, staining the collar of her white shirt. Security, he said in this ice-cold voice. Get these three out of my building, right now. Amanda stepped forward, still trying to figure out what was happening. Excuse me, but who do you think you are? This is our office, and Zara works for us. Wrong. Marcus moved right next to Zara like he was protecting her. This is my office, Henderson Communications. I own 70% of this company. Travis dropped his Samsung phone button. It crashed on the floor with a loud crack. Rebecca's face went completely white as she frantically searched on her phone. Henderson Enterprises, Chairman and CEO, Marcus Henderson, net worth $6.2 billion. That's what happens when you judge people without knowing anything about them. Zara finally spoke up, calmly wiping soda off her face with a tissue. You never even tried to find out who I really was. Zara and Marcus had met 3 years ago at a business conference in Boston. She was there on a scholarship. He was the main speaker. What started as a conversation about marketing strategies turned into a love story nobody saw coming. But why are you working here? Amanda stammered, her brain trying to make sense of how the woman she'd been torturing was married to one of the richest men in Chicago. Zara smiled for the first time all day. Because I believe in earning my spot, not getting handed everything. I wanted to prove I belonged here without using the Henderson name. For the past 8 months, Zara had been quietly keeping track of everything they did to her. Screenshots of nasty emails, recordings of meetings where they stole her ideas, even security footage showing how differently they treated her. All of it saved online, just waiting for the right time. "You thought I was weak because I don't fight back," Zara said, her voice getting stronger. "You mixed up being classy with being a pushover. Huge mistake." Another man in a dark suit stepped out of the elevator. David Park, Henderson Enterprises' top lawyer and Marcus's college buddy. "I've got everything documented right here," he said, handing thick folders to Amanda, Travis, and Rebecca. "Workplace harassment, racial discrimination, creating a hostile work environment." "This is crazy," Travis yelled. "We were just messing around. She never said anything." "Messing around?" Marcus picked up Travis's cracked phone, which was still recording. "Like pouring Dr. Pepper on her and calling it a diversity wake-up call? Like saying she must live in Queens and take the bus just because she's black?" Rebecca started crying. "I've got rent to pay, kids to feed." "Funny thing," Zara said coldly. "I've got family too. My mom's a teacher, my dad works construction. They busted their backs their whole lives so I could get an education. And you thought that made me less than you?" What none of them knew was that over the past few weeks, Zara had quietly created a new client management system that would boost Henderson Communications' profits by 40%. The project was worth millions, and it was all registered under her name. "You've got 20 minutes to pack up your stuff," Marcus announced. "Try anything stupid, and our lawyers will destroy you." Amanda, getting desperate, turned to the other employees watching in shock. "Are you all just gonna stand there? Everyone here knows what she's really like." Total silence. Several coworkers looked down, embarrassed. Then Mike Rodriguez from accounting stepped forward. "Actually, Amanda, most of us think Zara's brilliant. You're the one who made this place toxic." As security moved closer, Zara grabbed her laptop and personal stuff. She stopped next to Amanda and whispered, "You know what's funny? I was planning to quit today anyway, but you just gave me something way better." The Cartier watch on her wrist, Marcus's wedding gift to her, showed 2:47 p.m. In exactly 10 minutes, an email would go out to the whole company announcing major changes to their workplace policies. "Marcus," Zara touched her husband's arm, "I want to turn this into something bigger, not just payback." He nodded, knowing exactly what she meant. "The scholarship program you have been talking about?" "Exactly. For young black kids who want to study business. Funded with the money from selling their company shares," Marcus added with a cold smile. What these workplace bullies thought was weakness was actually the quiet power of someone who collects proof, waits for the perfect moment, and turns personal pain into real change. But this story was far from over. The real fireworks started when Henderson Communications' main conference room turned into complete chaos. David Park was setting up a presentation called "Evidence of Workplace Harassment, Mitchell versus Henderson Communications" on the big screen. They called an emergency meeting for all employees, promising important updates about company changes. "No, no, no," Amanda screamed, trying to grab David's laptop. "You can't show that. It's private." "Private?" Marcus repeated with an icy laugh. "Like these emails you sent to everyone in the department?" The screen lit up with Amanda's message. "The diversity hire started today. Bet she won't make it past Christmas. Anyone want to guess how long before she's back to the projects?" Travis went completely white when the next slide showed screenshots from a group chat called Henderson Elite, where he'd been posting daily photos of Zara with comments like, "Found our new janitor," and "Well, someone call her an Uber back to the hood." "How did you get these?" Rebecca gasped, seeing her own social media posts appear, including one where she secretly filmed Zara eating lunch alone with the caption, "When you have zero friends, #pathetic." 8 months, Zara said calmly, walking to the front of the room. "For 8 months, you three created your own digital trail of discrimination. Every screenshot, every recording, every nasty comment, HR has copies of everything." The next slide made everyone in the room gasp. Project Phoenix, Revolutionary Client Management System. Created by Zara Mitchell Henderson. Value $52 million. Status patented. "While you were busy trying to destroy me," Zara continued, "I built a software system that's going to change how companies handle client relationships. Henderson Enterprises bought the exclusive rights." Amanda stumbled backward. "Henderson Enterprises?" "Which means," Marcus stepped forward, "every dollar this system makes over the next 15 years goes straight to the Zara Mitchell Fund for young black entrepreneurs, starting with the money from selling your 3 company shares." Travis made one last desperate move. "This is blackmail. We'll sue you." David Park adjusted his tie. Blackmail is threats. We're just presenting documented evidence of hate crimes, workplace harassment, and systematic racial discrimination. Crimes that, by the way, can get you up to 3 years in prison here in Illinois. The next slide showed the company's staff chart. 3 names were flashing red: Amanda Sterling, Travis Coleman, Rebecca Park, terminated for cause. "You can't fire us like this," Amanda screamed, angry tears running down her face. "We're gonna fight you." "Go ahead and try," Zara said calmly. "But first, maybe watch the video Travis was so kind to make today. You know, the one where he poured Dr. Pepper on me while making jokes about diversity." The video started playing. Travis's own voice filled the quiet room. "Bet he's some delivery guy from Queens who rode the bus here." Several employees looked down, embarrassed they'd watched it happen and done nothing. "On top of that," Marcus announced, "Henderson Enterprises is starting a new program. Any company that wants to keep doing business with us has to pass strict workplace equality reviews." Rebecca started crying hard. "My career, my reputation, it's all ruined." "Your reputation?" Zara stared right at her. "You spent 8 months trying to ruin mine. Now you get to deal with what you created." The final slide appeared. Zara Mitchell Fund starting amount, $45 million. Goal, 800 full scholarships in business for young Black women over the next 5 years. 45 million. Travis practically choked on the words. "From the fines you 3 are going to pay, from the bonuses we're taking back, and from my own money," Zara explained. "Oh, and every company you apply to will get a full report about this case. Good luck explaining in job interviews why you got fired for being racist." Amanda collapsed to her knees, finally getting how badly she'd messed up. "Please, I've got a mortgage, car payments." "Funny," Zara replied, her voice deadly calm. "I had bills too when you sabotaged my work, stole my ideas, and made me wonder if I even belonged here. The difference is I turned my pain into something good. You turned your privilege into cruelty." Security guards started walking the 3 of them out. On the big screen, one last message appeared. "Real diversity isn't about filling quotas. It's about understanding that talent doesn't care about your skin color, your background, or where you grew up." As everyone in the room started clapping, Zara Henderson stood there with the Dr. Pepper long dried on her shirt, but her dignity stronger than ever and her real story just getting started. Nobody in that room could have guessed that this moment wasn't just one person getting justice. It was the beginning of something that would change how businesses treat people for years to come. Sometimes the biggest changes start with just one person refusing to stay in the box. Others try to put them in. 6 months later, the main theater at Chicago's Symphony Center was packed for the premiere of the documentary Breaking Point: How Workplace Racism Sparked a Revolution. Zara Mitchell Henderson walked onto the stage to thunderous applause, wearing a sharp black designer suit, not to show off, but because she could finally wear whatever she wanted without being judged. "When they poured Dr. Pepper on me," she started her speech, her voice filling the beautiful theater, "they had no idea they were planting the seeds of change that has now given 298 young Black students full scholarships in business and tech." In the crowd, cameras caught emotional faces: Fortune 500 executives, civil rights leaders, and most importantly, the first Zara Mitchell Fund Scholarship winners. Brilliant kids from tough neighborhoods now studying at Yale, Princeton, and MIT. The documentary showed something crazy. Amanda Sterling had tried to sue Zara for lies and emotional damage, but her own lawyers quit the case when they saw all the evidence. Travis Coleman, after getting rejected from 31 job interviews, now worked delivering food. Yeah, the same job he used to make fun of. Rebecca Park moved to some tiny town, deleted all her social media, and according to people who knew her, spent her time writing sorry letters that nobody ever answered. "The funniest part," Zara continued, "is that 2 days before they dumped soda on me, I just finished creating an AI system that catches discrimination patterns in companies. They literally gave me the last piece of data I needed to prove it worked." The Fair Hire app that Zara built was now being used by 950 companies worldwide, making $165 million in just 3 months. Every penny going to more scholarships. Amazon, Facebook, and Tesla teamed up to use the system in all their hiring. Mike Rodriguez, the accounting guy who'd stood up for Zara that day, was now head of Henderson Enterprises' Equality Tech Division. Watching Zara turn hate into hope taught me that staying quiet when you see wrong is just as bad as doing the wrong thing yourself, he told CNN. The most touching moment came when Robert Mitchell, Zara's dad, walked onto the stage. The retired construction worker who'd worked crazy hours for 30 years to pay for his daughter's education held up the Presidential Medal of Freedom that Zara had just won, the first black woman honored for using technology to fight injustice. "My daughter was always smart," he said, his voice cracking, "but they only saw her skin color. Now the whole world sees how brilliant she really is." On the screen, pictures of the old Henderson Communications office appeared. The company went bankrupt after losing all their contracts. The building was now home to the Zara Mitchell Center for Tech Equality, where young black entrepreneurs were creating apps to fight racism using AI. Amanda Sterling made one final try at getting sympathy on some random podcast. "I lost everything over one stupid joke." The clip went viral, not because people felt bad for her, but as a perfect example of how entitled people never get how serious their actions are. The comments destroyed her. "You didn't lose everything over a joke. You got exactly what you deserved after years of being racist." Zara ended her speech with words that broke the internet. "People ask me if this was revenge. I say it was justice. Revenge tears things down. Justice builds things up. I turned every drop of that soda into fuel to change an entire system, because the real revolution isn't destroying the people who hurt us. It's building bridges so others don't have to go through what we did." As she left the stage, her phone buzzed. A text from a 17-year-old girl in Queens. "Ms. Henderson, I just got into the scholarship program. I'm the first person in my family going to college. Thank you for not giving up that day." Zara smiled, remembering what she'd told them that afternoon. "You just made the biggest mistake of your lives." And they really had, just not the way they thought. A year later, the Zara effect became a real term in business schools, describing how experiencing workplace racism can spark massive change. Amanda, Travis, and Rebecca became examples in college classes about what happens when prejudice goes too far. Meanwhile, Zara Mitchell Henderson kept turning every act of hate into a chance for positive change. The message was clear. In that Chicago office, 3 people chose hate and lost everything. 1 person chose justice and changed the world. Because racism doesn't just hurt the people it targets, it destroys the people who practice it even more. Have you ever seen unfairness that could have been turned into something good? Share your story in the comments. If this story of justice and change moved you, hit subscribe and ring that bell for more stories proving that real revenge isn't destroying those who hurt us. It's building a world where nobody else gets hurt the same way.